Hello everyone, today we're talking about necromancy, so buckle up. Hello and welcome to this new episode of Meteor Tales. Today we're talking about necromancy. I'm gonna guide you through the process of how I came up with a necromancy system and why I believe that this very beautiful school of magic is crucial in gaming. Perhaps there's something you can pick up from this system. I love creating magic systems and I love integrating them into the game, and I think necromancy has so much beautiful atmosphere, so many great elements, and it goes unnoticed, you know, apart from the classic stuff like drain life and blah 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 and summon undead and stuff like that. They're all great, there's space for everything, but there's ways to make it even better, and we'll see how it works in Meteor Tales. Before that, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Angelo, I'm the creator of Meteor Tales RPG. You can find Meteor Tales here in the official website. We've had a successful Kickstarter. It ended recently. Now the game is available everywhere. So go ahead, visit the website and check out the various books. The Book of Heroes is the main book you need. It's a great game. It has beautiful elements. You can read all about it here in the game section. It features unique elements, stuff that other RPGs lack, so I'd just like to invite you to take a look at it. Anyway, that said, back to the video. Now, first of all, I would like to separate necromancy and death magic. At least in my game, they're different things. So death magic is a spellbook that contains death spells, meaning combat spells that relate to the sphere of death. This spellbook has Drain, Summon Undead, and Rot, and Vex, and Dominion, and Wither, and Curse, and stuff that you can use in combat, okay, to steal and manipulate the life force of targets. Like all other magic schools in Meteor Tales, you get the spells and you get the shapes and you combine them into spell effects and you can use them in battle very effectively. So these are the combat spells, okay, but what I call necromancy is a different thing in the game. So death spells do the common death stuff that you know, but with a unique Meteor Tales approach, combining the shapes and the effects accordingly. Now, necromancy is an advanced domain. So it's an advanced skill. It falls under the category of rituals, okay? And it uses catalysts and has very different effects. Let's see how that goes. So, for example, necromancy requires spell casting, divination, necropsy, and dimensions to unlock it. Okay, so you need all these 4 spells to unlock necromancy. By unlocking, I mean have access to it. You don't have the rituals, but if you unlock it, you can then study, okay, to gain the first ability. So necromancy consists of 10 abilities, like all advanced domains. So here we are, okay, we've got necromancy here. How it works. So necromancy allows you to perform rituals that connect the world of the living with the world of the dead. Necromancy rituals take place outside of combat and require catalysts to be used. So Necromancy uses sophisticated organ harvesting to generate catalysts that will allow you the use of its rituals. 1 hour of necropsy will generate 1d10 necromancy charges. Certain powerful rites will cause permanent grit loss. So what that means is that you need to have the necropsy skill, okay? And by using effective hours to harvest organs, so you find dead bodies, okay? You use your effective hours and you generate necromancy charges. So let me open up a basic dice roller. So as we all know, every character has 3 effective hours daily, okay? So let's say that I've unlocked all the necromancy abilities. I've got 10 abilities here. I've studied all these hours to gain the abilities, okay? Each ability requires catalysts. 1 charge, 2 charges, 3 charges. So every level goes with an additional charge cost. So when you use 1 effective hour to harvest organs, how that works, you go to the dead body, okay? And using your necropsy skill, you study the dead body and you harvest its organs and you produce catalysts. So you roll the d10. For 1 hour you get 7 necromancy catalysts. So you write them down in your character sheet. Now let's take a look at the abilities. So you use this catalyst. That already gives you a very nice role-playing edge, okay? A hook. So the necromancer, who is someone that doesn't even have to have combat spells, he studies the dead, so you can easily create this image, this atmosphere of a person that has stored bodies in a place, in a house, in a hut, anywhere, or he has all these organs embalmed in fluids and stuff like that. So you make this very novelistic approach a gameplay thing, okay? And so you have all these organs, you have these charges stack, so you can pull them and you use them whenever you want, okay? And the more organs you harvest, the more charges you have. These catalysts. So the first ability is called Language of the Dead. It allows communication with the spirit of a dead target for 1d10 minutes. So you use 1 catalyst, okay? You use it right away. You see a dead body and you call forth the spirit, and you can have a chat for 1d10 minutes. You can gain information, ask, how they died, stuff around the area, so you communicate with the dead. And then we move on to have the spirit call. This ability allows you communication with the spirit. The rite is usually made in order to ask a favor from a spirit. The spirit can perform a minor task, such as opening a door that characters have no access to, or spying on someone. Both the services and the rewards requested by the spirit for the deed fall under the game master's discretion. So yeah, you can summon a spirit and ask for a favor. So you use a spirit, okay, to do something you cannot do yourself. So imagine being in a forest and conjuring this spirit of nature, and you ask it to dive into a lake and pick up an item that you cannot, it's there but you cannot access yourself. Stuff like that. Or you are in a dungeon, you ask it to go from the other side of the wall and open the door. So all these things create very immersive gameplay elements. Next we have Last Time. This ritual allows you to witness the last minutes of a dead target in the first person. The experience will look and feel real and will cover the last 30 minutes of the target's life, stopping at the moment of death. Another very cinematic ability. You use this ability, you find a dead body, and you get this first person view of its last moments, so you know how it ended up dead. This can provide great hooks. It can be used for investigation, stuff like that, so all these abilities really give you what you need from a necromancer apart from just combat stuff. Moving on to degeneration. Now we move to the more, let's say, morally grey stuff, okay? Some will say it's evil, some will say it's necessary, and some will say it's necessary evil, like Bane said in Batman. So, degeneration is a form of curse, okay? This takes time, okay? This is a ritual that takes time, and it also needs 3 effective hours to be used and 4 catalysts. This ritual is a long and dangerous process that will inflict a powerful curse upon another target. The caster needs to possess an organic item from the target, hair, piece of their nail, skin, etc., and use it as a component. Upon performing the rite, the target must make a roll against the target's vigor. Upon success, the target begins to suffer severe side effects that will worsen over time. The process is gradual and is divided into stages. So far, what we know that you've got these components, the somatic components like hair or nails, skin, whatever, and you spend 3 effective hours to cast the curse. And once that happens, okay, you roll a d20 against the target's vigor. So the game master knows the target's vigor. An average person will be 10. So you need anything higher than 10, okay? Let's say that is a success. So now the curse is active, okay? It's a success. At first, the target's body will gradually become frail and ill. Over the first hours, they will show signs of severe illness. In the next few days, the body of the target will start to malfunction, triggering a decaying effect that will result in the destruction of the skin, hair and nails, and afterward of vital organs. The target will die within a period of 1d20 days. For every day that passes, the target has a chance to overcome the curse by repeating the same vigor roll. So you make a character wither, and you eventually kill him, okay, if he succumbs to the curse. So you see how great such an ability can work, and how beautiful it feels for players to have such means to go after targets outside of combat. It creates a great atmosphere, okay? Now, the key component for this ability is the 1d20 days. So the game master rolls this die, so the target will die within 7 days. Now, every day that passes, he has a chance to overcome the curse by making the same roll against the target's vigor, okay? As long as the roll is higher than the target's vigor, the curse goes on. Otherwise, the curse stops and the target is healed. Now, it could be very sudden, it could be 1 day, it could be 20 days, which means that most likely the character will survive. But it's a great ability, okay? Then, let's move to the heavier stuff. Soul trap. Now, you know what that means. You trap the soul of a target, but how does it work for a player character? This spell allows a caster to trap the soul of a defeated person and use it to enhance their power. The target must still be alive for the spell to work, incapacitated and weakened. The ritual will grant the caster one of the bonuses below. The effects will remain for as long as the caster wishes. Only one soul may remain captivated within the caster. The caster is free to release a soul and capture new ones for different results. So you defeat the target, you don't kill him, okay, and you decide to steal his soul. You spend 1 effective hour and 5 catalysts, okay, 5 charges, and then you roll for an effect. You roll a d10. So let's say I roll a d10 and I roll a 7. Grit increases by 20 points, so you get a buff. You get a great bonus from a soul. I know it's very evil, but imagine you have a soul trapped, okay? The game master can play a lot with this. You can make it, scream, and the necromancer can hear the soul from the corners of his mind. He can talk to it, he can negotiate, stuff like that. If he's tired of it, he can release it, get a new one, and re-roll for a new effect 1. Threat increases by 1 category. Great power up for the Necromancer, not so good for the Trapped Soul, but it goes very well for the role playing. It works great. Moving on to Possession, another very mild and harmless spell. So this uses 1 effective hour, 6 charges. This spell requires a living intelligent target unable to react during the process. The caster creates an invisible bond between them and the target. Upon completion, the caster rolls against the target's vigor to begin the possession. So again, we roll for the target's vigor. That's a success. And now the target is possessed. The spell will be imprinted upon their brain and grant dominion to the caster. Only 1 roll is allowed per target. The target will retain their consciousness and mental integrity, but is forced to submit to the will of the caster for a duration of 1d10 days until the spell expires or is reversed by other means. So that would mean 3 days. A lot can happen within 3 days. The target becomes controllable by the player as a second character. So you have your minion there. So you can have them follow you around, use them in combat, make them do other deeds. You can do anything. You can even make them kill themselves. Trigger alert. Now, we move to Raise Dead. Okay? This spell allows a caster to create an undead minion out of a corpse. The corpse becomes animated by the caster's power and serves their will until destroyed, released, or the caster is dead. Risen corpses become dwellers with the default property of a dweller, completely controlled by the caster. Classic spell, you raise the dead and you control them completely. Fun fact, there's another skill tree, advanced domain, called Enchant Minion in a supplementary book, and you can enhance these minions with new powers. Otherwise, it's a default zombie, a dweller, okay? And then we go to Restoration. This ritual will heal all severe injuries from a target. This includes broken bones, amputated limbs, and any other form of injury or physical condition. You know what that does? It's the only way to heal severely wounded characters. It requires 1 effective hour and 8 charges. And then we move to perhaps the strongest one, Resurrection. Okay, this takes 9 charges, 3 effective hours, and 1d20 grid points permanently. This will damage your character permanently. If you do it more than once, you might as well change and create a new character. The spell restores a dead target to life. The target returns in the same state as they were before death in terms of injuries, amputations, blah blah blah. The longer the state of death, the bigger the memory loss restored targets will suffer. So yes, death comes with memory loss. It's like the Greek mythology in Elysian Fields. So if you got a party member that has stayed dead for days or months, he will come back with a severe memory loss. But the key element here is the grit loss, because resurrection must never come at a low price. I am against stuff like that. I've included them in my game, but they only happen when drastic sacrifices are made. And the last one of my favorites, Phylactery. Yes, like the leeches have. This spell creates a unique enchantment that can be placed into an item. The enchanted item stores the soul of the caster. The caster trusts their essence to the survival of the item. If the caster suffers a type of death, the soul retreats to the item instead of traveling to the plane of the dead, and remains kept inside its phylactery. As long as the item remains safe and unharmed, the essence of the caster stays alive and can regain physical form within 1d10 days after the death. If the phylactery is destroyed during that period, however, the caster suffers a true death. If the phylactery is destroyed while the caster is alive, they suffer a 50% experience reduction to their mastery. So you create this powerful item, you become immortal. If you die, you come back to life after a few days, but if your phylactery is destroyed before you die, you lose half of your levels. That's a pretty drastic penalty. So yes, now we have a clear image of how necromancy should work. Okay, this is a great system I believe I've built. So anyone that wants to play necromancer, and they don't even have to be wizards, just have spellcasting and the required skills, and then you can be a fighter like a death knight, and you can only use rituals if you want. You can fight as a fighter and use these rituals out of combat to do your necromancy dirty work. This will give a great hooks for role playing. Anyways, let me know if you like this system in the comments below, if you have any more ideas, and we'll keep this conversation going, and I will see you all next time. Take care.